Coming out of the 7 Years' War in 1763, the British Empire has serious financial issues, having almost doubled its national debt. In order to address the situation, it imposes several Parliament Acts on the American colonies between 1764 and 1768, namely the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, and the Townshend Acts. All these acts were meant to install a form of taxation on the citizens of the 13 colonies. By 1770, most of the taxes are repealed due to social protest, but not the ones regarding tea. Most Americans are very unhappy with being taxed by the British Parliament, a body that they have no elected representatives in, instead of their local authorities. Come May 1773, the British Parliament passes the Tea Act, a law that granted the East India Company the right to sell its Asian-made tea in the American colonies directly, duty-free, without having to go through the London Tea Exchange and paying tax there. Meant to dispose of the large inventory of tea the company has, the act is met with heavy resistance by the Sons of Liberty, a political clandestine organization. Although the cheapest variant by far, the British tea remains largely unsold, as the colonists boycotted by buying tea from other sources, mostly smuggled Dutch, fearing a future government-imposed monopoly on imported goods. The protest against taxation without representation, but also the presence of a large British military on American soil, culminates on December 16, 1773 in Boston Harbor. Then and there, some of the Sons of Liberty, symbolically dressed as Native Americans, board 3 tea-carrying British ships and dump their cargo into the ocean, causing the destruction of around 92,000 pounds of tea, worth over $1.5 million in 2023 dollars. This event, marked as the Boston Tea Party, leads to King George III and the British Parliament's response in 1774 in the form of the Coercive Acts, or the Intolerable Acts, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're on. They decide to punish the colonists via a series of measures such as closing the port of Boston until the destroyed tea is paid for, the revocation of the Charter of Massachusetts, putting it directly under British authority, and the obligation of the colonists to house British troops. Unsurprisingly, many colonists consider these acts a violation of their constitutional rights as Englishmen and an unnecessary punishment for the aforementioned event. This situation rallies the people of the 13 colonies against the British Crown, paving the way for the Continental Congresses and ultimately the American Revolutionary War in 1775.